Hello. I'm not sure if the camera got that little greeting. Anyway. So, I wanted to make a video about truth. This is it's not like a full-on truth thing. It's just like my I'll just call it a sharing. My sharing about truth and how God revealed truth to me. Where shall I start? I'll start from the beginning just so I won't be jumping back. I might jump back, but anyway. So basically, if you haven't heard or seen in my other video, I grew up in a Catholic home, and like, you know, I've always had the idea of God and stuff, and that was not real for me until, you know, the idea of God or having God in my life. It wasn't real to me until my first youth camp. So yeah, I joined a Catholic youth group and all that, and yeah, it was like the stepping stones in my journey, like the first stepping stones of my journey with Christ. Anyway, and so okay, so that's all done and dusted, right? So skip like 3 years, 4, 5, I don't really know, somewhere around that. Skip a few years, and I decided to become a Christian. So that basically started when I got invited to a church service from one of my dear friends, and excuse me, I'm still kind of sick. And yeah, and so I was like, you know, yeah, cool, like I'll like totally check it out. We'll see how everything goes and how everything works. So yeah, I was just really curious. And yeah, and that was another turning point in my relationship with God. And so yeah, and then I guess, what do you know, I'm Christian. And anyway, so because of that, like stepping out from, I guess, what a lot of my family and my family friends were, like, as Catholics. They're all Catholic, and I wanted, you know, to, I guess, let's say, try something different. That's not really the way I mean it, but yeah. So I stepped out in search, I guess, for truth, in search for God, and so yeah. And at first I was really scared. I was extremely scared. Like, whenever I thought about it, I would literally shake. Like, I remember praying to God once, and I was just shaking. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so scared. Like, you know, what if this is what you want for me and stuff? And I was just freaking out. It was quite funny. Well, looking back, it was quite funny. But yeah, like, I was really scared because, I mean, at first my parents were a little bit hesitant because, you know, obviously, I guess when you raise your child the way you've been taught as a child, then, you know, it would be kind of, I guess it would be a shock, and, you know, probably a little bit of confusion as well as to why, you know, your child would want to do something different than how you've raised them. Anyway, and so yeah, excuse me, so yeah, I went to the church and everything, and realized that Jesus wasn't the center of my life, and I really wanted that. And so yeah, so that all happened in short. And skipped a year, and I was at my friend's house, and I ended up sleeping over, and she was going to mass with her friends, and it'd been a long time since I've gone to mass, simply because, you know, the processes, I'm just gonna say process. The processes in church are different. So so anyway, so yeah, I went to mass and everything, and for the past week or so before that Sunday, I'd been wondering about truth, and I wondered if I knew what truth was. You know, was I correct, you know, a year ago to change my path of being a Catholic, and, you know, I guess becoming a Christian, and you know, was it right? You know, am I, and are the things that have happened in my life so far, you know, just like fake? Like, you know, have I imagined all these things? You know, it was like little thoughts like that, and they were like little seeds of doubt that didn't really grow, but they were there and they lingered, and you know, those voices of doubts were lingering. So anyway, went to mass after communion. However, all that doubt changed. So it was, yeah, so as I said, it was after communion. I sat down in like our pew, and I was just sitting excuse me, and I was just sitting there reflecting, and like randomly, like out of the blue, that thought came into my mind again, you know, do I know truth? That's basically how my thought, like that question went in my mind. Like, do I know truth? Am I on the right track? You know, was I right to leave the Catholic Church and all that stuff? And then that still small voice echoed in my mind, like how God always is. And it was so random as well, which was funny because it was just so random. Like, I didn't expect it. Like, I wasn't so like pent up of, is that the right word? I don't know, that just came out. So, you know, I wasn't so intent on really knowing, like, you know, I wasn't asking God, oh please, you know, tell me what's true. Like, it was just sort of like doubts that were lingering in my mind and stuff. And anyway, and so yeah, and then that still small voice echoed in my mind, you know, saying, you do know truth. It was like an assurance, like God was just like, you know, you do know truth. You know my word, you know my son, you know, everlasting truths. Truths? Is that a word? I don't know. But, you know, yeah, like how both are everlasting, like God's word and his son is everlasting. And like that's basically the idea that I remember yeah, at mass that morning. And yeah, that was just awesome because it kind of just assured me, like, you know, I don't have to look anywhere else. I don't have to pray to anyone, or I don't have to seek, I guess, the counsel. I think seeking godly counsel is really important at times. But yeah, like it didn't depend on like me seeking counsel from a saint or seeking counsel from, you know, anyone else or anything like that. It was just God. It was just Jesus. You know, it was just his word. And you know, it was just God that I was searching for, not like anyone else, not an angel or anything like that. I hope this makes sense. So anyway, so yeah, I guess because that whole thing of being Catholic as opposed to being Christian, like, you know, I used to, you know, do all that. I used to pray to Mary for intercession and all that kind of stuff, and yeah, pray for protection and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, and I don't know, I think, yeah, that's basically where that whole truth, I guess, stems from. Like, I wanted to know if that was right, you know, maybe if I had more faith, you know, I would have still been in the Catholic Church, like that kind of stuff that I was thinking about. And then, you know, God just flips the switch and was like, you know me, like, I am the truth. And that just like assured me for years on end now, like, yeah, now I'm like really, I don't know, he just made my faith grow without me even, like, I guess, asking for it, you know. But, you know, God knows what we need, and I'm so thankful and grateful that he told me that out of the blue. I don't know, I think things, when things are random and when God, you know, shows up randomly without you expecting it, you know, because you've asked for something, then that's just a bigger reassurance. You know, he really knows what we need, and he knows, I guess, the struggles we go through, even if it's little. Like, he pays attention to the little things, the details, and I think that's amazing. So yeah, that's basically my story, my sharing. or my little story about attending mass and truth and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, and my bad that the video is a little bit long. Yeah, I talk a lot and I get a bit confused when I talk especially, but yeah, I hope you like this video, and yeah, at some point, if people would like to, it would be nice to hear your side as well, in terms of truth and stuff, like, you know, on your faith journey, or even if you don't have a faith journey, if you have questions, I would be glad to try and do my best to help you out. But in the meantime, have an awesome weekend. I think the weekend is coming up. Yeah, an awesome weekend, and I shall see you guys next time. That was weird. I'm sorry. Okay, bye.